What are you talking about?
Wasn't there drama in the wrestling community recently? I'm pretty fucking sure there was. Like, here, we have this... God, we have the power of the fucking internet.
Yeah, I know, but the only wrestling controversy I've seen before... I'm going to mute.
Wow, you're just going to...
Shut up.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 20 of the 421.
We're still celebrating the challenges being over.
Yeah. Oh, my God. We had a delicious dinner last night.
Wait till y'all see the Instagram photos.
We'll put those out Friday.
Actually, we'll put them out Friday. I was going to say maybe by
Friday.
9. Yeah, so when the podcast goes up, you check out our Instagram.
Hell yeah. So, as you can tell, the month has ended. We have completed our challenges. So, as far as the workout challenge...
I'm going to be looking up wrestling controversy. We're not getting sidetracked.
As for me, I missed one day of exercise, so I had to throw in an extra $5. I don't even know where we came out to on the bill, but we can settle that up later.
You spent, what, 20? You spent 30?
I had 30 on the bottle of whiskey that's currently sitting at our feet.
Okay, well then I spent 25 on steaks. We even.
Cool. It was absolutely delicious. Dice fucking... do you want to go a little bit into how you seasoned the steaks? Dice was the fucking grill master yesterday.
I didn't have... I mean, it wasn't much. I didn't have everything I wanted.
It was the po' man seasoning.
It was poor man seasoning. I had seasoned salt, garlic, onion powder, and like actual steak seasoning.
Just like the essentials.
I made garlic butter, though, which was cool with parsley. But no, I found like really nice Angus cuts, and me and Amanda and Hooch and Archer all enjoyed a nice medium rare steak.
This motherfucker bought a 4-pack of steaks, and so it was one for each of us, one for my wife, and there was a little extra one in the packet, and he grilled it up for the dogs.
You said patents getting pulled?
Yeah, Cody someone?
Cody Rhodes. Okay, so the controversy I think you're talking about is what it was is there is a new wrestling federation. They're not that new now, but they're
AEW?
AEW. I don't know what it stands for.
All Elite Wrestling.
I think it is. Yeah. So Cody Rhodes is the son of Dusty Rhodes and the brother of Gold Dust, who are I don't know how much you know, but I can't say currently, but I was a huge fucking wrestling fan. I'm a trained wrestler and all that shit.
Were you a big wrestling fan when Cody Rhodes was popular? Or Dusty? You said Dusty was his dad?
So Dusty, I love Dusty Rhodes, but when I started getting into wrestling, Dusty was retired by the time that I got into it.
He was one of the old school.
I watched Gold Dust a lot because Gold Dust was a part of the Attitude Era, and that dude, when he came out, he was so crazy and weird.
I don't remember Gold Dust. I remember Gold Member.
If I showed you Gold Dust, you'll remember him. I promise you. His look is amazing. But he was like, he'd come out and he was freaky. Oh, they don't have him painted up. Why isn't he painted up? Oh, he's not. Did he lose his paint? Is he not painted up anymore?
He's an old man.
But yeah, like Gold Dust, he was. Like,
I have no recollection of him.
Really? Oh
no.
man, he was cool. So like one of his.
Honestly, I might have seen a picture of him and just thought like, oh, cool, it's a new skin for Darth Maul.
That's fair. One of his special moves was like It wasn't the Widow's Peak or any. No, Widow's Peak was that flipping move. What was it? The Hanging Willow. It wasn't that, but he set you up in the corner, and he like he spread your legs essentially in the corner, and then just ran up and kicked you in the nuts, quote unquote. Not to ruin the magic for anybody with wrestling, but.
What do you mean? It's totally 100% real.
Let me tell you, it is. I will 100% say. I will say this to everybody who ever fights me on the fake or anything like that. It is scripted. That shit is not fake. The number one rule in wrestling is if you can't sell a hit, you are taking the hit. That's the number one rule. You take care of each other in the ring. You make sure that each other knows what's happening. You don't do anything blind. You don't get stiff. If you make a mistake, you take your repercussion hits. That's it.
There is only one wrestling match I've seen start to finish, and I can't even remember the names of the people, but it was an infamous cage match in which tables were broken, thumbtacks were spread in the ring.
I can tell you right now, it's the Mankind and Undertaker Hell in the Cell match.
Yep, that's it. Yep. I think there was a Vice documentary about it, like there was a 10 or 15 minute short, and then I was like, I want to watch this. And then I found it on YouTube. I was like, that's kind of cool.
You want to see some good matches? I'll show you Attitude Era WWE. I'll show you ECW.
Is that what that's considered? Attitude Era?
The 90s, the Attitude Era, the height before they like went full on for the kids, and I understand why they did, but like
family-friendly wrestling.
But like John Cena, think of you picture John Cena in your head right now. He's the John Cena. Like I said, we're still celebrating. But John Cena in your head right now. He's the Marine. He's the motherfucking valiant man. He's the one who can do no wrong. You don't test the champ. He used to be a rapper. I mean, dude, do you
No.
have you
fucking
never heard
no.
John Cena?
Look up John Cena rapping right fucking now.
Dude, have you never heard John Cena CD?
No.
Oh my! Obviously, Sunray, make this as like monetized as you can.
Well, I only see a couple reviews. I see an average of 262 reviews on rateyourmusic.com.
Oh no.
It's got a 1.9 out of 5.
No.
Let's look at the wiki.
John. That's the champ.
Time's up. My time's now. Woof.
I can't believe I'm defending John Cena.
However, Rap Reviews gave it an 7.5 out of 10 stars.
There we go.
And Stylist Magazine gave it a D+. You Can't See Me debuted at number 15 on the Billboard 200 charts with over 40,000 copies sold the first week of its release.
So that's his intro. I personally think
it's certified platinum. He did it. That's all you need. You got a platinum record.
Put in the clip. I'm just doing the fucking one.
Jesus. You go, John Cena. Like, kudos. There's some haters hating on your album, but you got a platinum record. Not a lot of people can say that. One thing I was gonna say, that
it's a very, very asterisk. That is like Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl on the flat ball type asterisk thing, because that's a bunch of kids just going, I want to listen to John Cena. Sorry.
No, this was before like Spotify and YouTube and all that shit, where it was just actual record sales.
Oh yeah, but that was just also a bunch of kids telling their parents.
Who fucking cares?
You're right. Don't hate. He made money. I'm broke. He made money. I'm broke.
If the majority of his fan base in the 90s was fucking white 13-year-old kids.
No, this was post 90s era. No. When John Cena became famous, that's when WWE started going downhill in my eyes. Because
he's the Toby Keith of wrestling.
Oh, callback. Speaking of callback, we have to talk about the mascot.
We'll get there. But don't worry, we didn't forget.
Yeah, is like as he built it when he was coming in as the rapper and stuff, it was still going good. Kurt Angle's match with him whenever he first came out, his debut match was great. But as he became like more of the Marine and more of like the people's champ, where The Rock was the people's champ before, now he's like the champ of the kids and all this stuff. And they started appealing more to that PG class, and they stopped talking about, like, they stopped cussing, they stopped doing all the sexual references, they stopped the really hardcore bloody matches and shit like that. Because every now and again, you love to see a really good, like, by-the-books wrestling match. Something that just... Am I boring you that you're on your phone?
No, I'm sorry. I
was
looking at all the posts that we shared for the mascot for the 421 to check the comments.
Okay.
I swear, I would not look at my phone unless I was doing work. When I'm this is a fucking work day.
Yeah, we say fucking.
Oh yeah, we got these shots. Let's
do
these.
So we're still celebrating the workout.
Yeah, we just had the dinner yesterday to commemorate, and we had such a crazy night last night.
We just stayed up late and did nothing.
We played video games, man. We're fucking gamers.
We're apparently gods at Overwatch again.
Yeah, right. All the fuck. We'll talk about that later. But if you're at home and you can partake of alcohol and you want to do a shot with us, pause the episode real quick and grab yourself a shot of your favorite, whatever you're doing. We're drinking, I believe it's pronounced Bullet Bourbon. Please sponsor us. It's really good. It's got a little bit of bite going down, but it goes down like
really smooth.
Nice the burn doesn't come until like after it's already settled, and you're like, that was nice.
We're doing shots because we're dumb. It's a nice sipping whiskey.
It is a good sipping whiskey. Pour it over rocks. It's delicious. All right. By now, I hope you have your drink of choice.
Hopefully, you didn't pause it.
Yeah. Fuck. If you didn't pause it now, and then come back. We're clinking in 3, 2, 1. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. To a challenge well done. Anyway. But yeah. Yeah. As I was saying.
I always have to do the thing for mid-sermon before I take a shot.
I do the pre-sip now.
You pre a little bit before you take the whole load?
I'm a fucking pre.
That's a double, too. You took a double load with just a little bit of pre.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with a good... I don't know how you're going to cut this in and out, but there's nothing wrong with a good by the books wrestling match here and there, something that is very tactical. It's downright called right. People inside of the match know what they're doing. They're wonderful when they do it. But there's something appealing about, like, the Hell in a Cell. Just for an example, the Hell in a Cell match that kind of started this whole rant. That was so appealing because of the craziness that you heard about it. Mankind got thrown off a 30-foot cage through a table below, lost half his ear in that fucking fight, was being wheeled off by medics, unprecedented, and then got up and went back to finish the match with the Undertaker type deal. Slammed again through the cage from the top to the bottom. If you are a motherfucking fan, I'm sorry repeating it, but you know it's worth repeating. That match will forever go down in history, and Mankind is one of the most badass motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. And if I ever got to shake his hand, I could never wash it again because I have to hold on to that type of hardcoreness in my life and tough enough. The Undertaker, they did dirty in the last couple of years, and I've grown so out of like for the Undertaker.
My cousin, whose name was also Dice. My cousin had like the wrestling action figures when we were growing up, and so we would play with those when we were kids. So
we did too.
Like I knew Goldberg, I knew
Wheezy and your brother, if you're watching. We used to play the shit out of those.
So like I knew a lot of the Attitude Era wrestlers, but like anything before that, I had no idea about.
The famous wrestlers that you know are probably all 100% Attitude Era.
Yeah. One thing that I was going to compare it to, and it's a weird analogy, is it reminds me a lot of Motown. Like, everything is very tightly organized, but it still has room for improvisation and theatrics.
The way I fell in love with theater was, honest to God, through being trained in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
the same.
It's the same.
A little bit more physical, but...
The fight, all it is those big fight scenes that you're building up for Act 3. That shit just happens a lot more.
When you're a jet all the way.
And that's it. That's it. That's all it is. Because whenever you are no cameras on you and anything like that, you're you. You're your person. You're taking care of people. You're hanging out. Don't be a dick. Don't play in character outside of camera. Randy Orton caught a lot of shit for that. But just like you're you. But the minute that camera comes on, that theater.
That theater fills you.
Theater just comes out of you. It doesn't matter if you're just playing towards the camera and there's one person standing in front of you, or you're outside in the ring and there's I used to do it to just like 50 or 75 people.
No, I can't do it in front of one person.
Like fucking, but those people go out and do it in front of millions and millions just in the center square. Like everybody wants to be on that Madison Square where you're in the circle stage, right? And telling stand up on that stage. That's where everybody wants to reach. That's wrestling every week. Every week, you're the center of attention. Every week, not only do you have to have the acting chops and shit like that to bring people in and love you for who you are because you're competing against the John Cenas. You're competing against the Austins. You're competing against the Rocks. You have to, why should they like you when there's a lot like you or even something? What makes you different? And then at the same time, you have to be talented enough.
Yeah, it's very weird
to physically perform all of this shit. Fuck if it's scripted. Fuck knowing that these people go in and go, Kurt Angle's going to win over Steve Austin in 25 minutes. They go out.
But at the end of the match, what matters is who the audience liked more. Mm-hmm. That's what's weird to me. Like, it's such a scripted show, but at the same time, it doesn't matter who wins the match. It matters who the audience felt for more.
John Cena was the #1 pushed wrestler in years. He became like WWE's child. And anytime they could, they gave him the poster boy. They gave him the title they could. Do you know who all the real fans, not the kids, original wrestling fans loved? They loved Edge. Because Edge was the rated R superstar who still housed some like 90s era in him, and he was the antagonist to Cena. He could actually perform very well. He had different characteristics that you could fall in love with, learn to hate, learn to like, but no matter what, you respected his talent.
Yeah.
And that was it. How you perform in the ring to people who like me who see that from the talent side, the one who was trained in it, is different than the people who just come in and see the theatrics. But no matter what, I don't understand how theater people don't like wrestling. If you watch wrestling and boil it down to, it's just Act 3.
I mean, I don't want to like lump all theater people together in one
I don't
big
want
bubble.
to either. Like it's
because
we're all very different.
There's a guy that you may have went to school with when we both went to Cal U. There was one guy who was actually like an amateur wrestler and like on circuits and shit. He was in the theater department. Blur out the name when I say it's. So there is an overlap, but it's like I like not to lump everybody together, but they normally don't err towards. I don't want to say brutality.
My thing is, I don't like,
but like
when
physical.
I don't like when theater people. You don't have to put this part in. Now I'm just kind of bitching. I don't like when theater people, because as a theater kid who produced, who came up through wrestling and shit like that, and then grew to love theater because of the connection I could make with it. I didn't like when people just immediately lumped off wrestling because it's a brute thing. Like, at the end of the day, sure, okay. At the end of the day, we sit down. We were about to perform. You brought up West Side Story earlier.
I actually, full spoilers. I don't know jack shit about
spoilers.
Full
Spoilers. I know nothing to spoil.
Full disclosure is what I meant to say.
Do you know Romeo and Juliet?
Shut up. We just did 2 shots. I mean 1 shot. Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, I know Romeo.
Okay, you know West Side Story.
Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, you know West Side Story.
Getting drunk and eating Percocet.
All right.
Hobo Johnson. People shat on him, but I rocked that fucking album. It was good. Anyway,
if you know that. So all wrestling is to me is that, like, you go in and you choreograph a fight scene. That fight scene that you build up to in Act 3, that thing that you like, there's people who aren't a part of the fight scene, so they don't know that kind of appeal. But like, when you're a part of something, when I used to be a part of the fight scenes, and me and all my friends and the one kid who I used to purposely slam on the ground as hard as I could, we'd get together and we got to choreograph the fight scene with our directors and stuff. That was like some of the best bonding moments, because not only do you, and this is gonna sound.
It's gonna sound weird. I know where it's going. Just go.
Yeah, you're intimate.
Exactly.
You know, like, you have that intimacy. You have that trust, though, because we used to do, even in simple things of Brownsville area theater, there was, when the intro opened and the Jets and the Sharks are running at each other, with a buddy of mine who we don't.
Oh, we've heard this story.
Yes. So no, not the one that I slammed on the ground multiple times. No.
I was like, you've told this story.
The opening scene. So, an ex-buddy of mine was a Shark, I was a Jet, and it was me and Xander. So we choreographed a fight part because we got to kind of freeform it a little bit. They just approved it. And as long as we could perform it, they did it. So what we put into it was, he's fighting both of us off. I grab him up in a full Nelson, but he throws his legs up on Xander's shoulders and twists him and throws him off, and then arm drags me or something like that. So that's the trust that you put into it. That's like, it becomes from, all right, not only are we just going to try to plan something else, but it's now I'm putting my entire body weight into this person and hoping to God he can hold me up while I'm flipping another man and hoping he doesn't get mad.
Oh, yeah.
And that just builds that relation. And that's the shit you get from theater. So to say there's not, the brute aspect is something to just throw it away, it pissed me off.
One other thought that I had, to be fair, during the Attitude Era and before, I don't know anything from wrestling after that, a lot of the theatrics are very cheesy. It's laid on so
But it's
thick.
who you watch. My problem with it, and what I thought you were gonna hit me with, it was very degrading of women, and I would have fucking agreed with you. 100%.
Oh, I didn't watch enough of it to know that much.
They used to treat Trish Stratus like a hoof, and I mean, I was young, I was hormonal, and I loved every second of it. But I honestly admit, yes, the way they treated female wrestlers and things like that in the past was not great. If they were comfortable with it, cool. But some of that shit was questionable. But no, the cheesiness is just a matter of, and that's where the theater part comes in. The cheesiness, because can you think of a cheesy Rock moment?
Moment?
The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Is there a cheesy Rock moment you could think of?
In wrestling?
Yeah. I'll give you more. How about Stone Cold Steve Austin? I'm not gonna say Kurt Angle. His kind of whole appeal was
like
cheesy.
I said, I didn't watch like many other like actual wrestling matches. I saw the bit where The Rock threw Stone Cold off the bridge.
Yeah,
that was pretty cheesy.
Cheesy.
It was cheesy, like how the
whole altercation off a bridge.
But that part was fucking cool. I was like, I'm pretty sure they actually threw him off a bridge. I'm like, that's like I don't know.
How do you fake that? What do you mean? I'm pretty sure they actually threw him off a bridge.
Like getting a stunt double in there. Like, you know how once you reach a certain height, that shit actually becomes like super dangerous, and you have to actually land right in the water, or you're gonna fucking break your back.
But you're the stunt double. Do you understand that? As a wrestler, you're the stunt double.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the real
I've
guy.
really jumped off ladders and shit. That's what I'm saying. It's not fake. It's scripted. That shit actually hurts. Sure, the table might break away a little bit more, but you're still falling 30 feet.
Did you guys hear that title drop? It's not fake, it's scripted.
Is that the title?
That's absolutely the fucking title.
Man, how long we ranted about wrestling? Oh my god. I haven't got to talk about wrestling in years.
I don't know. You're welcome, man. So we talked about all this. One thing I will say, I never got into actual wrestling, but a wrestling show that you used to watch called Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground.
That was actually kind of cool. The program was still cheesy, but I was bought into it enough that the suspension of disbelief was there, and I was like, all right, yeah, this is kind of cool. I love the setup. I love how the ring like extends so far into the fucking crowd and just shit always happens.
No, it's not.
I love that shit.
It's not that it extends so far into the crowd. What you're used to seeing is WWE with money.
Yeah.
WWE with barricades and stuff. What you've never gone to is a home fucking brew thing in a gymnasium.
I'm just imagining like.
I'm sorry, not Chris. Cap. We went to Big Bear, that place I want to take you. They had a wrestling.
I thought you want to take me to Club Octane.
No, Club Octane shut down.
Oh, okay.
Big Bear, the place for bike trails and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I want to take you to Big Bear. They have a wrestling crew that comes through there. Yeah, in the lobby area. Me, Cap, and a couple of exes. I have to say couple because I've taken multiple. Have gone to see wrestling there.
One thing.
Cap got hit with a chair during one of the fucking wrestling matches just because it went off the Cap. You know, somebody who's not a part of wrestling got hit with a chair. Like,
just imagining what was Cap's reaction when he got hit with a chair.
What
was Cap's reaction when he got hit with a chair?
Oh, he was into the moment. That's one of the things me and Cap used to share. Like, we were really into wrestling and stuff. Or he wasn't into it, but whenever he went with me, like, he liked violence like I did. So fuck it, yeah. So he was just into the moment. He didn't even give a shit. He was like, get that motherfucker. What I love about Lucha Underground is, I guess, how cheesy you have to believe it is. Because it takes the most bullshit thing that you want. There's actually a battle for an immortality ring. Somebody has died 5 times in that show. I stopped watching in season 3, but somebody's died 5 times in that show and has come back more powerful every time.
It understood what it was. The other wrestling shit knows what they want as well, but like it knows exactly what it is, and it's like, we're just gonna give it to you.
Do you know what Lucha Underground has though? That every other wrestling federation, and I'm talking AEW, even though I love Chris Jericho to death and back, and Vince McMahon don't have and all that stuff. Do you know what fucking Lucha Underground has that they can do that crazy shit? Raw goddamn talent. Raw God, every one of those characters, every one of those people that they introduce you to in every episode not only plays a fucking part in some kind of way, they grab your attention, they turn it into them every time they're on scene, and not one of them is untalented in the ring. Not one of them. I don't give a shit if you had the most bland character come out on that show. He comes into the ring, I can guarantee you he can outperform most of the people in the fucking talent agency of the WWE right now.
I feel like it's a natural progression though. Like I'm comparing it to it compares a lot to the rap scene. So previously you had the OGs who were super talented. They were very technical. They pulled off their moves. They made them look good, and it was so satisfying when you saw them pulled off. Then you got the Attitude Area. They were a little bit loosey-goosey. They're a little bit,
They're more nuts.
There were more nuts.
There was more nuts. One of the fucking finishers was literally, I put my ass in your face and shake it. Or one of the finishers was, I put my dick and bounce on you in the corner.
And that's it. Like, the rules got a little bit loosey-goosey. The lines got a little bit wavy. Now we're seeing the natural progression of the kids who grew up on the Attitude Era but also respected the OGs enough, and we're getting that combination of the two. And now we're getting the people who've got the attitude because that's what they grew up with, but they also know they gotta work hard to get what they want, and that's what we're seeing. And it's the same thing with the rap scene too. That's how I feel, because that's what I compare it to, because that's how I relate.
Dude, any way you can relate to it, that's how I do. But like,
we're seeing like we're seeing OG flows with new lyricists and like the crazy little bit loosey-goosey stuff, and it's going to be super fun seeing what comes out in the next couple of years.
The hardest barrier
RTJ4 coming out soon.
RTJ4 is going to be slapped. We said that in like 5 podcasts. I think the hardest barrier to break with Lucha Underground is the fact that it is mainly it has like a lot of subtitles and stuff like that for Americans to get into it.
That's true.
That 4-inch bar at the bottom.
Put up that Jong Boon Ho quote. Jung Bong Ho.
We've talked
Bong
about him
Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho. You think we've talked about him so much we
I
would
know.
fucking remembered by now.
But
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the worst part that has it for it because, like, honest to God, there's no reason if you like anything with the WWE or AEW, there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't love Lucha Underground. They not only do they have the realistic things where, oh man, this girl was cheating on me with this guy, not to mention the way when I say every person who steps in that ring is talented, I'm not talking like the diva popcorn matches that used to happen in WWE. And if you don't know what a popcorn match is, a popcorn match in parentheses.
Is it like popcorn reading?
No, so after a main event or something that has been built up over a lot of time in like a pay-per-view and shit like that, say like an Intercontinental title ladder match or the WWE Championship match or something like, well, that's usually saved for the end, but some kind of big match that nobody will leave their seat for during the participation of it. It lasts 20 or something minutes. Then you throw, I don't know, Kelly versus Mickie James out there for the women's title back in like 2008. I respect what new talent has come out since recently. But you send those two out for a popcorn match because popcorn means everybody doesn't give a shit about this match. Go out and get your popcorn and shit because after this, we got a 6-man elimination tag team match for the tag team championship belts. Because Teddy Long, baby.
Ironically, or perhaps I should say inadvertently, I think we found one of the mascots for the podcast. I think it's got to be a wrestler or a luchador.
Oh, I'll make my stand that I was given from Chia. There's anime! I brought it back!
No, we did so good!
I brought it
We
back!
did so good! We are 35 minutes into this goddamn fucking recording. I'm like, we can wrap this shit up. We're not gonna be talking about any weep shit! Down in the comments below, do you like wrestling? Do you like theater? Let us know your favorite theater performance, whether it be musical, play, whatever the fuck else there is. Or let us know your favorite wrestler and why. And then Dice will tell you why your favorite wrestler is wrong and why his is...
No, I mean, we never even talked about my favorite. That's the whole thing. I went on this whole tirade. Can you guess who my favorite is?
That's what you should put in the comments. Guess who Dice's favorite wrestler is, and guess what my favorite musical is. I guess you could do musical for Dice as well.
You could do a lot for me.
Make sure to like this video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you know when we post new episodes. The 421 comes out every single Friday. And if you really like what you hear, head on over to patreon.com/SEFT.
You got to head over anyway. We got to update our challenges.
That's also where we are going to post the video of us doing the rap challenge. I don't know if it will be up by the time of this recording. Admittedly, because I want to get my nice camera here and do this right
we need
in
to
front
do
of the green
this
screen.
right.
I have a real good idea for what it's going to be.
The way I have to do the last verse is very meticulous.
This is not going to be the haha laugh song that was supposed to be recorded after Salty Talks 2. Ooh, shout outs.
A
little bit of shade.
Chia,
you fucking listening, bitch?
Well, you're calling out Salty Talks 2 when it was Salty Talks 3.
Oh, you're right.
I delivered on my punishment.
Yeah, you did. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Peace, y'all. Celebrate.